when you do get your op and if you don't make it, you beating yourself in the head because you never know when it's going to come again. They got a plethora of weapons over there. It's just a perfect iron sharpen iron type of situation. I feel like every day it's like, okay, we made some big plays, we had some sacks, some takeaways, but at the same time we might have gave up an 80-yard bomb to Jay Reed, or Christian went up top, or Marshawn got loose. So I just feel like we all just been making each other better. It's great when you compete against offense with such variety to keep you sharp on all angles. So it's been good. We've been getting better every day.
Even at this stage in your career, you're still trying to find ways to always get better. Is that what separates good from great?
I would like to believe so. I just consider myself a student of the game. I try to learn not only from the guys in my room, the people around me, but even from Jordan and Coach LaFleur as well. It's just a lot of ball and a lot of different things, the ways they could attack us and different things they see. So just trying to continue to expand my knowledge and my growth in the game, but you never got it. You always learn it.
7 practices in. How would you assess how things are going on your side of the ball and what you've seen from the offense as well?
I just think we're getting better every day. Are we perfect? No. Am I perfect? No. I'm not ready. I'm not there yet. So I'm constantly pushing myself to get ready for week 1. But it's been promising. The guys, obviously, we're growing together as a unit, taking towards the coaching and taking towards the scheme. And every day we're getting better. But it's a mountain that we're forever climbing. And hopefully we finish it in February. But we just got to keep focusing on getting better every single day.
Tomorrow will be your first family night. How much does an atmosphere like that? I don't know if you've heard a lot about it, but it'll be a sold-out Lambeau Field for a practice. How much does that atmosphere up the ante and help you get that growth you're looking for?
Yeah, I've heard a lot about it, and I'm super excited. Again, this Green Bay community is something I haven't, seen before. I'm thankful to be a part of it. I'm glad to be there, and I know family night is special. My family got in last night, so they'll be excited. And I took my son to Lambeau during OTAs, and he was mad that nobody was there. So I'm gonna tell him that 70,000 people are gonna be there this time. So that's gonna be pretty cool.
So you take a lot of pride in getting calls out really quickly, like formation recognition, and getting it to the guys behind you. Is something you felt like you've always done?
Yeah, it's a little tricky because sometimes the offense will show you something early just to confuse you late. A lot of times they'll hide somebody, put them real close to formation, and then motion somebody so you forget he there. So it's a lot of little tricks and stuff that they play. I just think, a great defense is a talkative defense, and hearing X and Evan and Bull talking in the back end, and, me communicating stuff at the front end, me and Coop. So, more talkative, it's like the Navy SEALs, they constantly communicating, whether it's hand, fixtures, or verbal. So I think we've been doing a good job working on that line of communication and just getting better every day.
How strong do you think that relationship is right now with Ezra Cooper?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Coop, that's my boy, man. Like I said, I feel like the respect is mutual. We both want to be great. We both push each other. I have a great day, and next thing you know, he gonna come pop out. And that's what you want. It's not a competition between me and him. It's me and him pushing each other to be the best in the league. So, we set our standard early, and we're gonna continue to hold each other accountable to that. So it's pretty cool.
The first time I spoke with you, you mentioned how you love practice, and I feel like from the sidelines we can sense that. What is it about practice that you love, and where does that desire to be out there that come from?
First off, I would just say I love to compete. That's where I was kind of saying to Coach Cam, I'm like, the special teams drill gave me flashbacks because that was just my favorite drill when I was a teamer. Just the one-on-one aspect of it. But so I love the competition, and then on that side of it, you got to remember I didn't play for my first 4 years. I know what it felt like to watch the practice and wish I could compete with the ones and run with the 1 DBs and stuff like that. So I'm just grateful for my opportunities when I'm out there. I feel like if any of the guys that didn't have the opportunity early had to sit and wait for it, when you finally get it, you never want to let it go. So every time I step on the field, I'm just thankful for my opportunities and just want to take advantage of them.
Do the high expectations of you and Cooper without Micah right now put any added pressure on you?
Expectations is a privilege. People only expect something from you when you're capable of something. And first off, our expectations for ourselves and for each other couldn't be higher. So that's the expectation that really means something to us. And like I said, at the end of the day, we're just trying to be the best versions of ourselves every single day. And do whatever we can to help this team win. So outside noise is fun, and I know we started a little bit of that, but at the end of the day, we're going to keep holding our standard to ourselves and keep pushing each other.
What does that look like, the best versions of yourselves? What does that actually look like in your eyes?
Man, I would just say, I'm still learning stuff about Cooper every day. I didn't know he was rushing the passer like that. He got some moves. I didn't know he had that. But, yeah, so, I mean, just Coop, man, it's just his versatility, getting after the quarterback, just running and making plays sideline to sideline and coverage. I mean, he could do everything. And then just for myself, just being physical, being that leader, taking the ball away, setting that tone for the defense and for the team. I feel like if we're able to do that, we're gonna be pretty good.
Do you consider Gannon's defense complex? More so than
No,
run?
no. I've run more complex schemes, but what I will say is, when you remove the complexity from things, the details of things get that much more important. So while the playbook may not be the 40 pages that I've dealt with before, the attention to detail is extremely greater because you're trying to maximize and perfect the things that you run. I played in defenses before where you'll install something in August and run it in October without ever really practicing it. That's a tough situation to be in. Whereas though, it's not too many. What they say, fear the man that practice one kick 1,000 times rather than 1,000 kicks once. So it's kind of one of those type of things.